What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Just Like Bruddas podcast. I am Kai Jones, the owner of WJG Sports.
I'm Laika Abibi, also known as Kai Jones.
Ah, yes. That is why we call it the Just Like Bruddas podcast.
Yes, sir. Episode 9, baby.
Yeah, we got a lot going on today. Of course, we're going to start out with our, independence. We're going to talk about independence as far as in football. J. Mike Blake, he came down for the Spring Creek Lejeune game, in which you had two programs who are at an interesting intersection, really, when it comes to high school sports. You know, when you consider that Lejeune is the only military program in the state, and then you have Spring Creek, who has decided to go independent. It calls for an interesting question for both of those teams and for other teams like them who don't really have really great football programs. You know, why would you play in a conference where traditionally every year you're going to finish probably outside of making the playoffs? So one of the things that he said is, why wouldn't you just go ahead and not play your conference, pick your own schedule, probably win a few games, and go from there versus, somebody like Spring Creek. They're in a conference that includes East Duplin, Wallace Rose Hill, James Keenan, Goldsboro, like all of those, Clinton, all of those teams are big, ferocious teams. So what do you feel about independence, and how do you think it kind of affects a team?
Well, it's a very interesting discussion. Obviously, with what Spring Creek is doing, because they're an independent school, they are ineligible to compete in the NCHSAA playoffs.
Right.
And it's interesting with their schedule that they've chosen some games where there are games where it might be a little bit tougher for them to win, and they've chosen some games where I think they could go get, they could go get a win in there. But for teams like Spring Creek and Lejeune and I guess maybe to an extent Jones Senior, that really don't have
extent South Lenore possibly.
Yeah, teams that may not have the numbers, but they play ridiculous conference schedules. I mean, Jones Senior,
right?
They play like Tarboro
They play Tarboro, Riverside, Pamlico County.
Yeah, teams like that. So, like, it's an interesting discussion because I feel like teams of that nature that maybe don't feel like they can be really successful,
right,
can try to win some games as independents.
When you're thinking about a playoff seed, that means you're going to have to finish in the top 4 to 5 spots in your conference to be able to qualify for the playoffs. So if you're in a 6-7 team league, 6-7-8 league. Why would you play your conference if pretty much every year, except for maybe a couple of years, you're going
to get beat down, right?
Yeah, you're going to get beat down. I think Spring Creek, what they did was pretty interesting. I grew up in Wayne County, and Spring Creek has always kind of been, with no disrespect to the Gators, kind of that running joke as far as how bad they were. And I think with this idea of going independent, you don't have to lose 63-0 all the time.
I like it because it's something new. It's something we can we can see how this works. And I hope it gets to a point where the NCHSAA will still allow them to compete for playoffs as long as they are extremely successful, of course. Of course, it is.
Now that's where I think we go a little different ways there, because I think when you go independent, to me, it's saying we are not a playoff team normally, so we probably won't be this year. So we'll just take our independence. We'll pick our own games, try to win 4 to 5 games, maybe 6 or 7, and go from there. Because when you're losing 63-0 all the time,
it's not fun for the kids. It's not fun for the coaches. It's not fun for the school. I mean. And
nobody wants to come out and pay their money to watch a team lose 63-0, other than the visiting team. So it's hard to sell games, and then also too, as a visitor's gate, you're going to win 63-0, unless you're a team somebody who has traditionally lost a lot. What does that really offer you?
I mean, I do understand that you don't really feel like they should make the playoff thing, but this is only for like if they're winning like 8 or 9 games, they should like at least be argued for.
See, but
as long as they have the schedule too.
See, but then how do you define strength of schedule? Then now you're saying
you're
saying we're breaking
I do agree.
The conference.
Yeah, I do agree. It does come a little with some arbitrary stuff.
With that type of idea, then you don't need a conference. Why do we need conferences then?
Yeah,
so
I guess that would be
a conference title. I mean, if that's the way that we were going, I think I do think conferences need to either be chosen different, or there needs to be some sort of way to kind of make them more even or make them more competitive. I mean, because there are some who are very competitive. I think the East Carolina 2A is the perfect conference. It's very competitive. I mean, all the way around in all sports.
Just about every sport, like a different team wins, like in every sport.
Yeah, but there's conferences where like one team is always going to be favored to win in certain sports every single year.
I mean, it is kind of like that with basketball, at least. At the same time, it's really only basketball, because all the other sports, I mean, the other teams it's going to be competitive every week, every game.
Yeah. So I think that's I think it's interesting about independence.
And I like it because it improves. I do like independence, like in terms of what Spring Creek is doing, because it can help them improve as a program. It can help maybe even get more kids to come out and play.
Right, and then eventually maybe you can come back to a conference, especially realignments coming up. You might get a conference that actually can make it more competitive. But a conference that has 2 or 3 teams who are normally state championship contenders. It's tough to play in, especially for a school like Spring Creek, who is a little closer to a 1A school than a 2A school, and then also they traditionally just have not had those type of guys.
But once like how you said with how conferences are chosen, if Spring Creek can get back into a 2A or 1A conference,
I'd like to see if you could. I think it would be interesting if the NCHSAA would allow people to have like hardship waivers. Like if you could show, like, okay, traditionally we have, as a program, we have traditionally put out less than 35 kids, which is normally a 2A size school. We have normally put out less than 35 kids. We have won one conference game in 4 years. We should be allowed to play in the conference that we think fits. Well, if we can get all of the other
yes, absolutely
online with the travel and everything like that.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. Right. And it's really about finding conferences that are centered in relative proximity to the school. So I wouldn't
We're gonna kickstart here. No beer, kickstart.
But in terms of what Spring Creek is doing, if they can find a way to play schools maybe even play Jones Senior in a conference or something. Yeah. But playing in the Atlantic 5 1A where you got to play Columbia and Mattamuskeet and all the others. Yeah. I don't think I pronounced that right, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Playing schools like Ocracoke and Cape Hatteras.
Yeah, I don't think who also have hard times being able to win a lot of games,
and even field programs in some areas, like soccer. I know I love soccer, so I have to mention that a little bit. But
I think
they got to find something in proximity.
I think Spring Creek has done something that could really raise a big issue for the NCHSAA, where you could have more teams say, you know what, we are not finishing inside our top 5 next year. No matter what we do, we can do our best, and we still won't finish top 5, even if we were to gain an ACC recruit or something like that. We're still not going to be top 5, so let's just go independent, find some teams who are of equal size, who make sense travel-wise, who make sense money-wise.
And Spring Creek did a good job planning their schedule, too.
They did. The big thing is that, I even had a coach tell me who has a schedule that is pretty hard. Sometimes you just want those 50-50 games. You don't want
exactly. You want a game where it could go either way, and each program will have a chance to win.
And Spring Creek was playing 0 to 100 games.
Like
in that conference.
Yeah,
so I think kudos to them for trying something new.
Yes, and that's what I loved is that they're trying something different.
Yeah,
they want to improve their program. I know.
And a lot of people had a problem with it, but you know what? They always say the first one through the wall always gets hit the hardest. Mm-hmm. And, we're going to shift on from that. We're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in North Carolina right now. Of course, with Hurricane Dorian's impending impact about to hit. We have high school football that has been moved from Friday to Wednesday in most cases.
Yes, and we are recording on Wednesday.
Right.
As of this recording,
we are actually 3 hours away from game time.
Yeah, we're gonna be at some games, so we'll get to that in just a moment.
Right, of course. With Hurricane Dorian, it looks like we're gonna get all of our games in tonight, and then it looks like Thursday night is when the hurricane's gonna really hit. And that's when it's supposed to. Yeah,
Thursday night and into early Friday morning is when it's supposed to be here.
Of course,
we don't truly know.
We have, I think about 14 to 15 games in our areas have been moved to Wednesday, whereas 4 or 5 of them are still going to be either going to be on Monday, Saturday.
We have a game Saturday morning. John Paul II just announced that they're going to play Saturday against
Fayetteville Christian, and of course North Pitt versus Green Central will be on.
It'll be Monday. This coming Monday.
And then West Johnson, Grays Creek is going to be on Monday as well. Mm-hmm. So right now, it's a situation where we hope everyone stays safe.
That is the number one thing. Yeah. We want everyone to be safe from this hurricane. Make sure you go out, buy non-perishables, get water, get things that you know that will
Yeah.
Just get all the safe. Yes, be prepared for the hurricane and please stay safe. Yes.
And if you're not getting a big impact, of course, enjoy the little bit of time off or enjoy the rain and sleep.
Absolutely.
That's always something my grandma used to do when we had hurricanes. We just sleep away.
Well, in terms of sports related stuff to this hurricane, we remember how Florence impacted.
Right.
And it still is it still hasn't been.
There's still impact that has been from storms. I mean, there's still some communities who are still trying to recover from Matthew back in 2016.
Absolutely.
And we're just hoping that this one doesn't hit us too hard.
Yes, absolutely.
And that everyone can kind of go on with their lives the correct way. Of course, we'll have our prayers up for all our friends on the coast and everything like that.
Yes, everyone on the Crystal Coast, everyone in the Outer Banks, everyone down through the southeast that's been impacted by the storm. We have our thoughts and prayers are with you. We hope you're safe out there. Of course, as of this recording, Dorian is a Category 2 that is about east of Florida right now. Right. So, but hopefully that
he's a big weather nut, so he's pretty good at tracking these type of things.
I'm
keeping up with reports.
I know a really good amount of people in this business, and you do too. Yeah. And you do too. We talk about this off air, but nonetheless, we really hope everyone's safe from the storm.
Right,
for sure.
Of course. Make sure that you have your TVs on if you can to listen to your weather people, so that they can actually tell you the right thing to do.
Yes, if you need to evacuate or not. Listen.
Who just wanted to touch on this and tell everybody to be safe, and that our prayers are with you.
Absolutely.
And now we're going to go to Leica's Game of the Week.
Absolutely. I believe my Game of the Week is for the first time I'm covering a Wayne County game.
Yes, sir.
Like an actual regular season game.
We have him coming down for Spring Creek at Rosewood.
Yep.
We talked a lot about Spring Creek earlier. Spring Creek got their first win against Lejeune.
Yep.
Of course, we have highlights from that game, including one of the touchdowns from Spring Creek on the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel is gaining some steam. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
We appreciate that. We went from 200 to 238 in the matter of one weekend. So thank you all for supporting that.
But as for my game, both teams are coming in 1-1 on the season.
Right, both teams coming off a win last week.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, out of the 5 Wayne County teams, the only one who lost was Eastern Wayne because they played Goldsboro.
Yeah,
so that's pretty rare.
That's a good job for Wayne County this past weekend.
Yeah.
I would fancy Rosewood in this game. I think that I think offensively they're going to run the ball, of course.
46 on North Johnston.
Yep, they're going to put up some points, I think. Spring Creek is going to play extremely hard. I know they and their coaching staff. Their coaching staff.
I think you're really going to enjoy Spring Creek's offense because they play a lot of they have some wacky plays and they really try to mix it up and keep the defenses off guard, really. And
that's what you're supposed to do as a football team. You're supposed to make sure the defense is off balance. You don't know what they're supposed to do, right? So I am looking forward to covering football in Wayne County. I could possibly be heading to another game as well. Right. We'll mention that in just a second. But
possibly ACOC at Hunt.
Or no, other way around.
Oh,
yeah.
Hunt
yes, ACOC hosting Hunt.
Yeah.
I could possibly be heading there as well. So it should be a fun night of covering sports here. Right. And I can't wait. This is fun. Thank you. Thank you for having me, of course, as always.
Of course, the WJG sports game of the week happens to be Corinth Holders hosting Cleveland.
Clayton.
Clayton, excuse me.
Cleveland is playing Southeast Raleigh tonight, but he's going to be there as well.
I'm going to go to Southeast. I'm hitting Cleveland hosting Southeast Raleigh at 6:30. I'm going to hit there first for the first half, and then I'm heading on the Corinth Holders versus Clayton. It should be a really good game. Something that I'm not sure everyone expected, that Corinth Holders is 2-0 and Clayton is 0-2.
But at the same time,
Clayton
you have to remember
played a very tough schedule. They played 2 state title contenders.
A tough schedule. They played a gantlet. What do you mean?
Yeah. And
a defending state champ and Richmond County.
They've played pretty well and won pretty candidly against West Johnston and Millbrook. But I think really this is the first time since Corinth Holders beat Clayton in 2015, and they feel like coming in and they can probably get this one from Clayton. They're coming in with all of the steam, really. And when it comes to rivalry games, sometimes you just need that heart.
And also at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're 2-0 or 0-2. You throw records out the window. It's one game.
That's true.
And I think we had differing opinions on this game, correct?
Right. I have Clayton. No, wait a second. You have Clayton winning, right?
No, I have Corinth.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have Corinth Holders because Corinth Holders, you picked against Corinth Holders the last 2 weeks.
Yes, I
picked Corinth Holders last week. I did pick Millbrook in week 1, but I did pick Corinth Holders last week.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to people of Corinth Holders. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's that I picked against them. So if they end up losing tonight, I'm gonna feel really bad. But I picked Clayton tonight. I think they get a big rebound win. Of course, we both pick Rosewood in your game of the week. By the way, yes, absolutely.
But of course, you can see all of those game picks on our IG and soon on our website. The picks are sponsored by We Up Athletic Group. They, Nick Oates and Coach Jones at Wayne Country Day believe in us. They are advertising with us, and we thank you for advertising. And of course, you can contact them to be able to schedule your next appointment to get yourself in shape and get you right. Nick Oates, he's actually a really great guy. He does a great job training kids.
And he's also...
if you're looking for a trainer, you can't find a finer man than him.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And of course, he's also venturing into the reporting game.
Right. He'll be at Goldsboro, Southern Wayne. Of course, a big rivalry game.
And he's a Southern Wayne guy. He's a
Southern Wayne alum. Guy, but he is excited to go to the game. Of course, other rivalry games going on is South Johnston and Triton.
That's going to be,
Triton at South Johnston.
Yeah.
Of course, we weren't able to get anybody to go out there for us, but we'll try to get something on them because I know how much South Johnston and Triton are rivals. I remember Blake Clifton. He was a South Johnston graduate, ran the JOCO Preps Pays before he got a job in college athletics.
At Lander University, I believe, in South Carolina.
And he really talked up that South Johnston-Triton rivalry. Unfortunately, won't get to see it this year, but maybe next year.
It's just been a crazy week.
Yeah,
we had schedule changes in week 1.
Yeah.
We have schedule changes in week 3. We have teams playing on Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday morning. It's
been wild.
Mother Nature, please chill out, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Of course, we're gonna plug some of the stuff we have. We have football player of the week, which is Cleveland's Omarion Hampton, and then we have the non-football player of the week, which is Goldsboro's Hallie Brown for volleyball. And then Block of the Week by Javari Wright. He is from Corinth Holders. They're all coming out tomorrow after the games and stuff. So be on the lookout on the YouTube page.
And congratulations to all three of this. Well, for Amarion, he's the second one.
He's the second one, and then everyone else is the inaugural WJG Sports Players of the Week and Block of the Week. So,
and by the way, I didn't tell you this, but I love that you're giving the offensive line some love. No one gets to talk offensive line.
Javari was nervous when I did his interview yesterday. I had to just let him know, hey man, we're just talking here. We're just going to ask questions.
I mean, at my game last week, I talked to Kayceon Williams, offensive lineman for Kinston, after their win.
To say,
but he's a reserved guy. But when he talks, people listen, and he did a really good job with it. Of course, he's a natural.
Yeah, and other than that, we have YouTube clips and highlights from all these games the past few weeks as far as football wise. So
numbers have been really good for us, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
can
so
go
much.
up there, just scroll up and check it out. Anything else that you got to say, Leica?
You can follow us on Twitter as well, WJG_sports, Instagram, WJG Sports. Also like us on Facebook. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, as Kai just said. And of course, you can follow Kai Jones on Twitter at MMJ Kai Jones. For all high school sports and other sports-related topics. And as for me, you can follow me at StrikingNation24_. I'm not a famous person, I promise you. And you can also follow at LMA Preps for more high school sports news and other stuff, Right. And thank you again for supporting the podcast. And we hope to be back sometime soon. And once again,
and we'll try to get you a rapid reaction show. Can't promise anything because games are being played on Monday, so we will let you know.
And once again, we
also this week first rankings.
Yes, we're gonna. I was gonna say I'm
about to say football player rankings. We're gonna be ranking the awards and who should get them.
That's what the people want.
It's what the people wanted. I did a vote. 90% said they wanted to see them. So let's give it to them.
Absolutely. And once again, one more time, our thoughts and prayers are with those that will be affected by the impending Hurricane Dorian. We will see you next time.